One of my favorite pastimes is to read patents, and especially Tesla's patents. But I have since then seen how these methods have been used in later patents. And so I do find it very interesting to discover when they start using this type of technology to get higher gains than we've ever seen before traditionally. People like Tesla have always piqued my interest, reading about what they do, what they've done, how they've got there. And there were some really interesting things that I noticed, that Tesla noticed and wrote about, impulse technology. And we've found that when you're pulsing a coil, there's an interference that shows up that we're allowed to capture and send to a battery bank. This interference is a lot like static electricity. It charges the bank, charges the battery bank with a high voltage spike. So I got involved with this after about 10 years of researching similar devices. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who is a physicist about some of these inventions, some of these that are already patented. So I was talking with this physicist friend of mine, and it turned into an argument. And I basically left that night with him saying, well, I'm going to show you. I had to build a prototype. I had to build a prototype to prove it to myself as well. I had been researching this information for 10 years, 10 long years without actually doing something, and I just needed that extra boost from this friend to get me to build something. And I built a small wheel based on John Bedini's work that would charge a battery. So we would get very minimal power to run. We would be able to run a motor and charge a battery at the same time. It's more like that this charge that we're taking from the coil is not necessarily charging the batteries, but more or less giving them directions on where to get the energy from. And so we start to kind of dive into real deep theoretical physics of where this energy originates. It's something Tesla worked on, and then there have been many people after him that have worked on. One gentleman's name is Thomas Moray. We have Floyd Sweet, and to this day there are people alive that are still working with this technology. John Bedini has a patent for it right now that he patented in 1974. So I started with a single coil and saw peaks of 2,000 volts coming out of that coil. With moving to eight switches, 8 different coils now, we're seeing peaks above 10,000 volts. If it works for us, it can work for you, and ultimately it benefits everyone in the world if we all start using this.